Hey Virgo, what's up? I'm in a silly mood as I drop half the cards. Hi, I'm Katie. Welcome to the channel, and this is your June reading. All right, so I'm starting all of this month's reading off with an affirmation card, all right? And yours is true manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. True manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. Oh, I'm feeling like some of you may be really focused on yourself right now and maybe forgetting about others, and that when others win, you also get to win, right? Okay, so let's see what the cards, well, okay, what the cards have to say here. Man, I felt all this good energy when we first started, and I'm realizing why. I mean, there's just some good energy happening. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so the first card that came out was curiosity. So I'm feeling like maybe you're in a situation that involves other people and you're forgetting to be kind of curious about it. You're also feeling kind of like the stranger. You're the outsider. You're feeling kind of left out in the dark. And I think that's what's contributing to this idea of you kind of not being able to see everybody else and not realizing that when other people, you know, receive help and receive blessings, so do you. When you give, you also receive. Okay. But they're definitely, this situation that you find yourself in, it feels a little kind of back and forth a little bit. And you're also feeling kind of on the outside of a particular, I don't know if it's like a group, like a friend group, or like on a project. It could be a relationship. But okay, let's keep going. So there's lost compass, getting back to your integrity. I think because you're feeling kind of this pull, you know, back and forth, you've lost yourself a little bit, and you've lost your true essence in a sense. And I think that's why this curious nature kind of popped up for you, because you also need to be curious about what you are truly wanting in life. I think that also goes back and plays into the manifesting, that you need to be specific about what it is that you're manifesting, okay? There is a power in community. And again, this idea that like when the highest good happens to other people around you, it also happens to you. I think there's this sense of, you have this sense of being kind of siloed and feeling completely left out because of some certain circumstances. Maybe someone's hurt you from, you know, that group or that situation, you've been hurt. And so you're feeling kind of, you've actually chosen to kind of isolate yourself. Okay, we also have lay of the land. I feel like with this one, it kind of is relating to this in the sense too. Like, you need to step back into what you know to be true. And some of that comes from the wisdom of your ancestors and being able to have clarity in where you come from and the lessons that you've learned, you know, so far in life. Okay, let's kind of keep pulling out because I feel like there's still a lot to be learned here. Sweet little Virgo. Oh, that's interesting. Right under the compass, you got Fortune's Wheel. I'll show you those cards in a sec. Okay, so first off, the two wheels. Look how beautiful that is. One right under the other. I do think that when you find your way back to integrity, that is when you get all of the fortune. That is when you get all of the abundance, okay? But before Wheel of Fortune, we have Mindful, Groupthink. And I definitely feel like right when this card jumped out, I felt like there was definitely a project that some of you have been working on that has been just not heartache, but it's just been a struggle. Some of you, even like building a house and like managing all of the contractors that come into place, and you're just kind of like done with it. And it's a lot, I get it. But you see how colorful this is when you're able to work with other people in a way that is beneficial to everyone in the group. It can be very colorful. Everyone can learn, everyone can grow, and everyone can have a very positive experience. And for some reason, I'm feeling as if you are kind of, how do I put this? You're kind of the maker or break of this. Like, you are kind of the energy that determines what the group looks like. Does it look like this? Does it look, where was the other one? Is it more like this, where it's like siloed and kind of dark in the shadow? That's the image that first came to me. Again, when you can come to this with curiosity and feeling like you want to see the other person's side and maybe hear the other person's ideas, that's when all this, ooh, yes, this is when all the color can happen. You're in a position with this, whether, again, it's like this situation with, you know, whether it's work or with a friend group, you very much so take like a leadership type role in this. And so the way that you act, the way that you treat other people really has a significant play on the outcome of this, okay? And I feel like the majority of you are wanting this. You're wanting to live in this colorful, beautiful little place, right? Because, I mean, who wouldn't want to live there? It looks awesome. Okay, so when you're able to do that, take on this leadership role where you are remembering that when you receive good, others receive good, right? That is when you're getting the fortune's wheel, okay? The luck and the right timing. There is kind of some growing pains, we're going to say, okay? There's going to be a lot of overflow. I think that when you start to come to the table with an even playing field and this really open mindset, a lot is going to overflow. A lot's going to come to the surface. I think I just felt like some people who've maybe been a little vindictive or maybe a little like talking behind your back and stuff, that's all going to come to light. Like all of the nasty tactics are all going to come to light, but they're going to be the ones that talk to you about it and almost come and apologize. That's what this overflow is, where everyone, all the dirty laundry's aired out. That's what I'm trying to say. And when that happens and you kind of step into that role of how you're determining, you know, where we go from here, you have the horseman, which is change. And this is you standing in all this beautiful, beautiful light. And it feels really good and airy and powerful and everything that you want in this situation. I feel like this card is where you're wanting to be. But right now, you're this little dude, which is kind of, you know, just barely basked in the light. You become the light here, which is amazing. Okay, let's pull another row because that's what we do. I'm so curious if you want to leave in the comments like what the project is or like the group of people. Like I'm kind of curious about that. Because I definitely feel like it could be like a friend group or like a sort of friend group, but then also like some sort of project. Like I don't know if work or co-workers, but definitely like there's like a project-based feel to it. Okay, little Virgo. Okay. So the first card that came up is Heart Home. And I feel like this kind of has two different, for some of you, the ones that are like building a home and dealing with the contractors, you're making this beautiful home that's like just warm and like where you want to be and just full of love. For those of you that are kind of taking that leadership role, even if you're not in a leadership position, you kind of take on this role where like everyone's looking at you as to like how to act. Like you're like the example of how to act and how to be. So regardless to what your title is, okay? But when you do that, you create this energy and this space where it feels very at home, very safe, very secure, very loving. And if you're able to do that in the workplace, that is amazing, okay? So this is kind of the outcome that comes from the change. as you're continuing to go through all of this, there's all of these. Well, I guess the last one too, but we're going to start with these. So you need to be intentional about how you move forward with this project, and more specifically, how you communicate with the people involved. Be very intentional, okay? You also have deep dive, which is like tasks. You are going to come to a point, I think it's like when the overflow comes, you're going to start to feel a lot of things as well, and start to kind of feel a little bit of, not burnout, but something kind of similar. And that's when you just need to put your head down and get work done. Put your head down and like get yourself to that finish line, okay? Because it's almost there. And then once you're to that point, you got an empty well, baby. So that's when it's time to replenish, to find things that fill your bucket back up, right? So whether you take a vacation, or you start to meditate more, or you start a new exercise routine, maybe even eat healthier. But right now you're just kind of, you're like, I don't want to say you're in the thick of it, because it doesn't feel that like dramatic. But definitely at the end of all of this, you're going to need to replenish, and you're going to know when you're like done. You're going to know when your tank is empty. That is when you need to hone in on this card and replenish, okay? All right, so one last card. True manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. I just feel like you are in this position where you get to kind of, you get to manifest almost what is of the highest good for all of the people involved in this situation. Ugh, what a beautiful and responsible thing to do. Okay, so, sorry, that was a weird noise. Okay, so you got straddling worlds, wandering between realms. I feel as though once you have gone through this whole situation, this project, whatever it looks like, you are in a place, you've grown to a place mentally and spiritually where you get to almost be on both sides. So for example, for all of you who are not in a leadership position, like role, title, that's the word I'm looking for, but you take on the role of a leadership, it's going to be really cool, because you're going to be able to see both the side of like where the leadership is coming from, and the side of where like the other employees are coming from. And when you can see both sides of a situation, it's super valuable, because you just have more information and you are more open-minded to things, and it allows you to connect with people in a much I don't know how to say this, to connect with people with more ease. I was going to say easingful way, but I'm pretty sure I made that word up. But it's really cool, because when you're able to do that, it makes it so that you're more valuable in a company, but you're also just able to connect with people, which is cool, because you want to be able to, establish relationships and good communication skills and all of that jazz. I don't know why. I feel like we need one more, so I'm gonna go with it, because the straddling worlds is really cool, and I just feel like you're needing one more card. This one almost jumped out. Okay, this is coming back to this one, your empty will. Me talks, repairing the mind, body, and spirit. So when you are able to see things from multiple angles, and you're not so one-sided and being selfish in the situation, energetically, that can take a toll on you. Mentally, that can take a toll on you. And so when you find yourself in a space where you do need to replenish, it's a good idea for you to find things and put things into your life, as far as like habits and behaviors that help you get aligned with your mind, body, and spirit, right? So that you can show up the best version of yourself. Sorry. You want to be able to show up like this person, right? This person on the horse, because you've been able to take care of yourself and kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not nurture. Like when you go to a spa, what is the word I'm looking for? You get to relax. I don't know. If you can think of the word, put it in the comments, because that's going to bug me. Watch, it will come to me as soon as I turn off the video. When you're able to Just give to yourself. Right? But that's when you can step into your power and be the best version of yourself, which is such a beautiful thing. This feels very like a growth period for you, which I think is super exciting because growth is always good. It can be hard, it can be scary, but it's also very good. Okay, so cute little Virgos, I love you. I'm just going to end with your manifestation card. True manifesting or affirmation. I was looking at that word while I said the other one. True manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. Now is a time for you to focus on everyone involved and find what is the highest good for everyone that is involved. Okay? Virgo, I love you so much. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you come back next month.